me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. What you what you do? Made a move, could've made a move. If I knew I'd be with you. Is it too late to pursue? I bite my tongue, it's a bad habit. Kinda mad that I didn't take a stab at it. Thought you were too good for me, my dear. Never gave me time of day, my dear. It's okay, things happen for reasons that I think are sure. Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. Yeah, I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. Say to me, please good morning. I wish you wouldn't play with me. I wanna know. Can I bite your tongue like my bad habit? Would you mind if I tried to make a pass at it? Now you're not too good for me, my dear. Funny you come back to me, my dear. It's okay, things happen for reasons that I can't ignore. Yeah, I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. You can't surprise a Gemini. I'm everywhere, I'm cross-sighted. Now that you're back, I can decide if I decide if you're invited. You always knew the way to wow me. Fuck around, get tongue-tied. I turn it on, I make it rowdy. Then carry on, but I'm not hiding. You grabbing me hard, cause you know what you found is biscuits, it's gravy bag. Can't surprise a Gemini, but you know it's biscuits, it's gravy, babe. I knew you'd come back around, cause you know it's biscuits, it's gravy, babe. Let's fuck in the back of the mall, lose control, go stupid, go crazy, babe. I know I'll be in your heart till the end. You'll miss me, don't baby, babe.
YSL got it for cheap. Now all these niggas think I had a stain like bleach. 7 a.m. on the beach, studying flows. The ocean got hella to teach. I put a 6 on my beat. All of these fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. I feel like Mystique. I gave my jewel on my jella. He gave me a skeleton. I had to bust on the bones. Got 30 looks at the movies. The money was calling and forgot to silence my phone. Got an invite to a show out in Paris. A nigga just downloaded Rosetta Stone. All I wrote down in my radical croissants. If they can't provide them, I'll leave it alone. Meeting with Sony, I post post on the gram and a whole lot of rappers that digging my grammar. Charging them $200 a stanza, they pay out of pocket like Vic in Atlanta. Money been jumping, it's too much to handle. I call my accountant, we working in tandem. Used to get Metcalf for summer, last week I made double that. School cannot hold a candle. I'm up in Momotar with a shorty. I keep a Virgil on me like a 40. Couple of Cubans on me, they imported. They got my net froze, rigor mortis. I hit the breaststroke in the Benz. Swimming through South Beach with the fins. I just been going crazy with the pen, cause I don't get shit off of spins. YSL got it for cheap. Now all these niggas think I had a stain like bleach. 7 a.m. on the beach, studying flows. The ocean got hella to teach. I put a 6 on my beat. All of these fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. I feel like Mystique. Shorty, she down for whatever. I keep my flow under the weather. I'm cold when they come with the pressure, but diamonds all over the bezel. I can't even count them, too many to measure. Steering wheel light as a feathers, matching the shade of interior leather. Feeling more patient than ever. Taking my time, enjoying the ride. I get there whenever. I'm in the booth when niggas are sleeping. Nike Tech hoodie, I'm reaping. Hellcat usually sound like a demon. Gave it a 4G's, not a bit creeping. I got 10 toes in the cement. I got 10 fingers on throat. The game in the choke. They hotbox the lab, they burning the oak. They took me to space, I don't even smoke. I hop in the Uber, I smell like a roach. Praying the shit'll come out of my clothes. Normally I wouldn't really be tweaking, but I spent a rack and a half on the coat. The berries burr, I really defer. Call Harry for fur, no pun intended. I pick up a pen and the VVs are looking like ice in a blender. The quality splendid. YSL got it for cheap. Now all these niggas think I had a stain like bleach. 7 a.m. on the beach, studying flows. The ocean got hella to teach. I put a 6 on my beat. All of these fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. I feel like Mystique.
I didn't know that I was capable being happy right now, but you showed me that.
Baby got no backbone, so he's telling me to stay home. I ain't listening to him, no. Now I'm out, I gotta lay low. I've been going with the same, but baby, does she taste like me? For the sake of getting far, you threw away our memories. I've been going with the same,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, my fucking ankle. Who knows, man?
I've got you hanging on my words.
I'm fucking Just based on that taxi. I feel like it could be Morocco. It's like a road shout there. But I'm still looking at it. Oh, maybe not. Vietnam? Yeah, Chile. Spanish. I've literally gained nothing for this 3 rounds. If it gets down to low, we're gonna have to go Vietnam. I'll get serious as well. Peru. Oh, let's just go Lima. It's the capital. Holy fuck, that taxi just clutched it. Fuck, I was trying to go on the words. That would get me like so close. Let's go. Absence is in English speaking. Oh, I think it is England. Oh, New Zealand. Let's try to find out if we can see, find that city. Auckland. Where's that? Yeah, I'm gonna put it near Wellington. This could be troll. Oh, it's up there. Fuck, I didn't go that high. Oh, it's a big leg as well. It's so stupid. I should have put so much more on that. Is that? That's not it. Finished it on a banger. Oh shit, wait. That was pretty more than. Oh! Tell me it's not perfect timing. Oh shit.
Good morning! You wake up, good morning is a brand new day. Blue skies above, it's a perfect day.
No one, not even WhatsApp, can see your personal messages. So every sigh of relief stays private.
In the grand finals, yet again, this feels like a very comfortable spot for you, Farah. Yeah, I mean, 100% finals decision. So
Yeah.
I mean, I could not really ask for better.
Yeah, really. I mean, besides winning them all, but like, yeah, this is great. I mean, this is still a really good spot to be in. I mean, let's talk about that series real quick though, because it looked like you guys were about to have it pretty handily 4-0, but then a bit of a bite back from Gentlemates. Walk me through what the team was thinking when that happened.
I think we started really well. We played exactly like we wanted in the first 3 games, even though some of them were close, but like it looked like we had the upper hand for a while, and then the games became even closer, and suddenly it was about a few details here and there, and they didn't go our way. I think we could have won the 5th game at least, maybe not the 4th, but the 5th game with the long overtime we could have won it. But yeah, we didn't play our best on those 2 games. I feel like we lost a little bit of ourselves. We're trying out a lot of things this weekend, so it makes sense for us to sometimes get lost. But we iced it up in the game 6, and that was enough, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to ask you, the timeout seemed to work to bring you guys back into it. Was it just, stern, hey, I'm upset with you guys, or was it just like bring it back to the roots here?
No, I'm rarely upset, if I have to be honest. Like in RSCS, everyone is playing, very focused, and they're all trying their best. So I'm rarely gonna be upset. But it was just about reminding everyone how we were supposed to play.
Right.
The few changes we probably needed to make in order to win against the updated version of Mate, because they kind of changed a little bit the way they were playing throughout the series. But yeah, like we took the lead early on in the last game, and that was enough.
So I actually want to look at the overall for Raleigh right now, because Gentlemates, they've secured that spot. We have all our teams now. I don't know if you can see the graphic if you're looking here, but these are all teams going to Raleigh. From your perspective, obviously you guys are the top dogs. Everyone's got their targets set on you. How do you feel about all the other teams here coming in? I feel like there's some really great teams going to Raleigh.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty stacked lineup, but the way I see it is there is only a few teams that can really contend for the title. I feel like us and Dignitas in Europe, Energy and Space Station probably in North America, and Team Falcons. Outside of them, I mean maybe Ultimates and Genji, but it's hard to say. They haven't really peaked yet, but they're showing potential. But yeah, like there is a few teams here and there that can really that look actually really challenging. And yeah, like it's looking like a pretty stacked lineup for Raleigh.
We've seen Furia in the past be able to take some series and get pretty far. How do you feel right now? You didn't bring them up at all.
Who do you say?
Team Furia.
Furia. I mean, I feel like they're in the upset potential, but I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing them actually winning an event.
Fair.
Just like for example, Gentlemates, I can see them going really far, but winning the event
Not
is
the whole way.
Yeah, it's another stretch, and I feel like it's a bit too far for them right now.
Hey, well, the only way to really see what will happen is to see it happen. And right now, I think, again, you guys are probably the favorites going into that. I'm going to let you go now because you have a grand finals to pay attention to. I think you'll do fine, but good luck anyways.
Hopefully, we never know. We lost last time, so this time around we're really trying to, fix it and win it.
Hey, well, I like the constant strive for being better and better every time. Farah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. You live.
And there's Farah again. That's what it is. I mean, the work ethic behind these guys is just so good, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, you said what about Fury, and he said Huria. He wasn't too concerned about the Sam #1 seed, but yeah, interesting to see a few of the teams that he rates as chances over there. I will note that he didn't mention Vitality as a chance, just him and KC and Dig for Europe, but I mean they're pretty locked in at the moment. Shogun, they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, they are just phenomenal, aren't they? And this level of consistency is so difficult to achieve, especially in this game, where it feels like, as you mentioned during that cast, CJ, if you are the hunted team, it doesn't last long, especially in Rocket League. It's lasted for them, and they are now 2 events away from achieving what is the ultimate goal, which is a world championship.
I mean, I want to kind of focus on a bit Gentlemates here because, you know, Farrah was mentioning it as well that, you know, they're making some changes. This is kind of a newer look for Gentlemates. How do we feel, I guess, with their chance for Worlds now? Because they have to, what is it? Do they have to win it? Or top 2? Yeah, like that's, and Farrah said that's he doesn't know if that's possible for them.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, I think we saw glimpses there. That overtime, I know Farrah is going to say that KC probably should have won it on his end, but that was a fantastic game from them. I think that, you know, if they get swept 4-0, we're probably thinking, Shogun, a little bit differently about Gentlemates after that. But the 2 games that they did win, the response coming off the 3-0 deficit, they showed enough to say they could make a top 2 in Raleigh.
Oh, absolutely. It does feel like, as long as they just don't hit a particular team at some point on that. So they'll be looking at their Swiss performances and hoping for the best.
Well, there it is. 2 more best of 7s to go for our last open qualifier in Europe and all around as we go towards Raleigh. It's Dignitas versus Team Vitality. This Dignitas team, Shogun, has really stepped it up. Vitality, though, coming into this, still has some people's, looking at the predictions, some people's hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone thinks Vitality can beat any team apart from the team at the moment, and they'll be looking to try and change that. This is pretty much their last chance to really change that narrative before it really is all on the line. For Dignitas, well, they're doing what the best teams do, and that's find form at the perfect time. A lot of our world champions are not the best team throughout the entirety of the season. If that was the case, you know, you'd be looking at teams like G2 maybe last season. KC would have won it last season. No, they're not the ones that won it. BDS did because they were the best when it mattered, and Dignitas seem to be doing the exact same thing.
And there's Dignitas. CJ, they're looking so good right now, so comfortable. They've already locked everything in. There's nothing to fight for here except for, you know, just that pride showing they can do it and a little extra money. But you know that they're going to give it all because they've been looking so comfortable.
Yeah, and Jack said in the interview yesterday, they're not a team that's just going to be comfortable with qualifying. They want to be a team that wins week in, week out. And they want to go back to back. I mean, that'll just give themselves the most confidence coming into Raleigh, coming into the World Championships. And I think if you're a neutral supporter here, you probably want Dignitas to win this. It's just based on the record that KC has against Vitality if they were to make the grand final. So yeah, Dig in the box seat. I think they're the favourites, which, Shogun, if you asked yourself at the beginning of this season or at the beginning of this split, looking at this Vitality lineup, you probably would be surprised that Dig are favourites against these guys.
I think you would have been surprised at how much better Dignitas have looked without needing to make any sort of personnel changes.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that, I mean, this is me not even taking into account the first tournament of the season. That was its own little vacuum. It's the fact that they seem to have settled into, all right, well, they're a top 6 team. They're actually, okay, now they're a top 5. Wait a minute, they're a top 2 team? And it's just come from not having to make switches in the personnel, but just improving what they've got. And they've reaped the rewards for it.
Yeah, I don't know. The progressive fan vote's up, guys. Get them in there. I saw someone saying a sweep for Vitality. I don't know. I don't know if you watched Dignitas recently. I don't think there's going to be a sweep on either side here. I did see the pre-game excited yawn from Stizzy. Last time that happened, they won. So you better watch out.
Sorry from Exotic as well. I think that this is now becoming a ritual. Like, just have a yawn, and you're all sorted.
It's the excited yawn. Remember
that?
It's I'm yawning all day. No, I'm on the edge of my seat because these games have been really good. Even that last one we thought was going to be a 4-0 ended up being a pretty good finish to it with Gentlemates. I don't expect anything differently here. I guess the question is, CJ, is if Vitality are to take this, I mean, what do they got to do? Because I feel like, again, Dig coming into this now, in my opinion, and I'm putting it as a prediction, are the favorites.
Yeah, I think Vitality just need to play like the 3 world champions that they are. Might be a tip. I think like on paper they should be beating Dignitas. It's no question they should be the favourites, but we haven't seen it so far, which is why I'm going Dignitas. And if any of you care about our predictions, which you probably don't, myself, Stumpy, and Cole are all equal on predictions. They've gone Vitality. I've gone Dig. So whoever loses this one will be getting pied in the face, and I'm hoping it's Cole and Stumpy. So come on, Dignitas. Let's get the job done.
Yeah,
You are equal with two people that are permanently picking the team that they are paid by. So I don't know. Like Shopify is not over in this region, mate. How have you fallen this far back?
I went the Rusties. It's cost me, but Dig, I think they could do it. 71% is massive. I think it's closer than that, Leaf.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good series. So make sure your eyes are on the screen because it is ready. One more best of 7 before the grand finals. The question here is who gets to face Carmine Corp? Is it going to be Dignitas or is it Team Vitality? Only one way to find out, and it's to watch them Rocket League.
And it is deja vu in Split 2, another top 4 matchup, the third in a row between Dignitas and Vitality. The first one went Vitality's way 4-2. Dignitas took the last one 4-2. But we got game 1 presented by Progressive to break this tie. Johnny, who you got?
I've got Dignitas. I know I can see on the sheet that you've gone the other way here. I'm going to support team. You know, I liked what I saw from Vitality today, but I liked what I've seen from Dignitas this weekend even better.
Yeah, I'm trying to balance like the public hate on Vitality. I think Vitality is better than most people think. Dignitas been lights out, but we're starting out with some demolitions by Exotic to open the door for Monkey Moon to get the scoring going early.
Right, lock in.
Yeah, Jack just getting completely caught. Backwards to the ball. He was expecting a touch there from Jarius, didn't realize he was going to be next up on that one, and yeah, the reaction from Jarius, the face cam after, he's not too happy with how he started the match, misread the wall bites completely.
And one thing to note, so as I was looking through numbers, the average distance to the ball or average distance to your teammates as well, Dignitas by far spaces out more than any other team in Europe, while Vitality, to go at least out of the top teams, they spend more time near each other. So we'll see if that plays the factor here. Dignitas spread the ball, go for their 1v1 challenges to open up the doors, while Vitality looking for those quick inside passes. So we'll see if that plays the factor. Last time around it worked out for Dig, but Vitality is a force.
Yeah, Vitality, I mean, all the Monkey Moon teams quite known for being close together on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Zen makes the 2-0 with a reset towards the top corner. You might have got another piece of this one as well at the goal line.
I don't want to see a Vitality
had some interference from Stizzy, but not enough. Zen just muscles it through.
And apparently Jack again, a little bit in no man's land, didn't go to the back wall, went for the early challenge, Zen just flipped her set way over his head to allow it to be a 1v1 spot. And Zen capitalizes Vitality the early lead.
You know, you mentioned Dig preferring to be far apart on the pitch. It's I think because of two reasons. They like to just go for wild boost deals these days, bump way before the attack's even getting started. Jack's mainly the guy doing that on the team, but they're also quite happy leaving the play and just trusting each other. You know, more than other teams in Europe, they'll just go to get the back quarter booster, go back into the midfield. This is another chance for Vitality. Monkey Moon doesn't make contact, but they've had by far the better start in this opening game, and looking to continue that with even more pressure, even more goals.
And you have to credit Vitality too. I think a lot of people were down on them yesterday, but they played K-Corp, right? And K-Corp, at least through the first 3 games versus mates, look incredibly good. So that's more the K-Corp debuff, and it looks like Vitality has found their form just at the right time. And also, this is a huge match in terms of RLCS points for the year. Vitality currently is beating Dignitas by 1 individual point for the entire year for seeding. So if Dig wins this, they will take control over EU2 for the full year heading into Raleigh.
That's a very big deal for them, not just in the standings, but also further on confidence. And that's going to be a goal for Jarius. It's taken a wicked deflection off, I think it was Zen, who's trying to get a solid challenge, actually skims it to his own backboard, and Monkey Moon could not cover it.
Yeah, Monkey Moon was already in the air at that point, so he's trying to just read the bounce as best he could, and it was the worst possible bounce for him. Jarius will take it for free. That's nice for Dignitas to get the scoring going, to get them within 1.
Monkey Moon and Zen doing a good job not to bump each other in the back corner there. Now here comes Zen with the underdog on Jack. Monkey Moon, the openest net of the day. And wow, what a setup by Zen. Immediate redemption after the previous mistouch in defense.
Now that's 2 aerials by Zen where he just completely dominates in the air. One just went in, and this one turns into a pass for Monkey Moon. So Zen looking good through the air so far.
And right back to that 2-goal advantage. What Vitality were able to do earlier on to eventually win quite easily against GK was utilize Monkey Moon as far forward as possible. They were really getting him up front. Looked like he was the most comfortable there. That was a good save by Monkey Moon. And, you know, gonna need to be better than that for Dignitas. I'm sure they can produce better than that. They've had a full array of offensive opportunities this event so far, but yet to take a game lost. They're headed towards their first one right now.
Yeah. But it is interesting to see Vitality try and change it up, and I think they have to, right? They knew they're very likely they'll make it to Raleigh, to Worlds, but they want to be the best team in the world again, and they cannot get by K-Corp, so they got to change up. Like Monkey Moon, normally that third man, going for the infield pass here. Will there be a follow-up? There will not, so apparently Jack will follow us out. But Monkey Moon moving upfield, going for demos is a different look for Vitality, and I think that is a thing they have to work on. Try out these new looks to figure it out before Worlds.
And it's, you know, part of why the previous iterations of Vitality were so effective. For Dawson, used to always run Riot up front, give so much space to Zen to work behind him. It's a good beat there by Jack.
2 goals, 1 minute.
As the boost is starting to run low for Vitality. Zen dodges the demo, but here comes Stizzy backboard off the crossbar. Zen was there. That's a decent passage of play for Dig, but it remains fruitless.
And that clock is bleeding out. Only 1 minute left. Dignitas down 2. A favorable 50-50 for Vitality. Monkey Moon, can he capitalize? Post, the post. No, it's not in. The lead is still 2.
It's a huge layoff. Dignitas got caught out there. Monkey Moon unable to punish them. Now he's taking his time on his own back wall. Monkey Moon keeping control. You know, it's all about just avoiding mistakes for this Vitality team. They've had the peak ability. They've had the ability to create. But today it's about avoiding mistakes. Oh, finds this through. There was a bump onto Monkey Moon. It nearly led to a goal for Dignitas. But now with just 20 seconds left, it looks like Vitality are going to make it.
And we talk about Monkey Moon being one of the best third man to ever play the game. When they're up 2 goals, he's probably not going to go for that physical play anymore. He's probably going to lay back and just play that mid-game challenge, just lead that clock, and it has worked brilliantly here for Vitality. See if Dignitas can get one in before the buzzer. They cannot. Vitality will take game 1.
That's a nice sidewall skim by Monkey Moon as well, just to threaten another goal. Dignitas might be trying to get one more for good measure as well. Not an important goal for the overall scoreline, but just to send them a message that they're not going to give them anything for free. Nice opening game for Vitality in their hunt for form at the right time.
And for the old folks at home, the first rule was always you keep the ball up at 0. It doesn't matter if it's 2-goal lead, 3-goal lead, you go for it. You try and get that last goal, pad your stats a bit, because why not? But this was a pretty...
Holy fuck, guys, I'm glad I made that for you guys. go.
With the finish.
Sorry about that.
And Vitality, keep it going.
It's a play we've seen multiple times from Vitality today. That drop down 1-2 pass. Exotic and Monkey Moon combined with one against GK. And Zen getting involved. Exotic's been definitely an effective player today for Vitality. They need him to be. They need him to be that world's MVP caliber Exotic after his transformation last year into one of the greatest teammates Monkey Moon's ever had. Now Zen, longtime friend of Exotic, getting to play with him. Oh, a nice beat by Jack. He completely dusted Zen. It's on target, but Monkey Moon, can he get there? No, he can't. Jack!
Oh my god, what a goal!
With a counter-attack shot straight down the middle. I don't think Zen even knew he was there.
And I don't think Exotic did either, because I think Exotic was waiting for a pass from Zen, so he wasn't downfield. Monkey Moon, no boost. He cannot catch up to it. Dignitas, again, gets away with a freebie. So Vitality, while their offense is looking good, they've given up some bad mistakes here for free goals for Dignitas in these first two games.
This is the usual problem for Vitality, is that they'll just give away an open net every now and then. That one is a bit more forgivable. This one would have been harsh, but Jorius hits the post, and it's the far post as well, so the ball naturally clears itself. Stizzy trying to keep the attack alive. He's got no boost here. Monkey Moon reads it well. I think, you know, that if Vitality can make it through a series without any silly open nets conceded, that'll be the most promising thing for their fans.
That was almost open net earlier by Jorius. He did have zero boost, though, so he couldn't get around on the angle on the shot. So you can't fault him too much, but here's the aerial fake. Apparently Jack diving across the net makes the save. The bump out on Jorius, though. The ball goes wide. Dignitas will be able to get the clear, but Exotic is in the face still. Monkey Moon will take control. He's going to leave it for Zen. Zen gets demoed out. The ball is just pinballing back and forth at the midfield line. Exotic versus apparently Jack. Apparently Jack decides to wait on the wall. Smart play for him, but it goes down to Zen. He cannot find that near post shot though.
Jorius doing a good job to stay alive there as he was being chased from behind. Jack trying to set Stizzy up. He's got no boost. Jack has to just force Zen high and hope Jorius can cover it. That's a great save by Jorius. He did exactly that. Now here he comes down the other end. Exotic misses the backboard touch, and Jorius doubles it in. He just ignores Exotic and scores with a great read.
Jorius on both sides of the field. What a play on Zen. We talked about Zen in his aerial game, and then the counter attack to drop it down. Jorius, a 2-goal swing right there to give Dignitas a 1-goal advantage.
Unreal. What a finish by Jorius. Dignitas have some defending to do, and maybe a little bit more as Monkey Moon takes to the ceiling. Jack shuts him down. Follow-up shot by Zen. Deflected wide by Stizzy. Exotic just taking his time as he enters the play. And this is where Dignitas, being the most spread out team at the top tier in Europe, really helps them out a little bit. It's very easy to know whose ball is which, because you're not as close to each other like Vitality are.
Yeah, you expect a lot less wide open nets for Dignitas because they are spread so thin compared to the random double commits. That'll happen in a fast game of Rocket League when two players are near a ball and they both think that it's their ball. It will happen with pro teams as well, but that's why good comms are always a huge deal. Monkey Moon obviously going for that play. This almost gets dangerous. Then we'll clear it out. But Monkey Moon, you know, he's used to that. Like, he knows good comms. He's one of the best players to ever play the game with his 2 world titles. So you expect them to clean it up at some point, but we have been saying that all year round, and Vitality still hasn't cleaned it up perfectly yet.
Well, that's a double commit there by Jack and Jorius. Jack
works out.
Get it back down 2 minutes, worked out in the end. That's some good heads-up play by Jack. He probably heard that Jorius was up with him, and he dunks it mid, right on top of his head.
And Jorius also bumped a defender so he could land quicker with no momentum, and just kind of happened to be there. So Dignitas, well, I wouldn't call that one free. It was a great pass and play, but a bit fortunate again. Dignitas getting pretty lucky here so far, but they will absolutely take it because they are generating that luck.
Okay, that one's fucking loud.
Yeah, they're responding well to the positions they're being given. Oh, that's not a good touch, but it's saved well by Jorius. Zen was completely uncontested from that range with the shot. Back here came through from Diggs, then needs to get the ball on target and quickly tries to go all the way himself, but Jack covers him out. Will confirm the win regardless of the score here. It's going to be a 3-1. So both players both teams start trading 3-1 wins as we tie this one up.
And I think a lot of people think that this match will be close. Yes, Dignitas are small favorites, but Vitality is no slouch. Both times they played, it was a 4-2. You expect bare minimum a 4-2 here. Both teams looking pretty good, making plays where they need to, but this one goes to Dignitas. Apparently Jack with that great pass down to Jorius was icing on the cake. But we also had the play by Exotic and Zen early on to open up that scoring, but Dignitas, they fought back, especially with that Jorius save into the counterattack. This play, again, I called it a 2-goal swing because he denied a goal and scored a goal, and guess what? They won by 2, so that was the play of the match for me.
Yeah, so it's a great shot, and not just that, but to ignore the defenders. Good advice for all of you guys watching from home. You know, we're not able, all of us, or many of us, to hit, stealing shot double taps, but the concept or that pros are really good at is just ignoring the defender. I mean, if you're up, like Jorius was there's no point trying to read the defender's touch. You might as well just read the miss, because if they do miss, you're on for the double, you're on for the shot. And so many Rocket League players have a mental block with this. They try too hard to read the touch that never ends up happening, and now everybody's whiffed the ball. Jorius showing how it's done with so far goal of the match.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
there we go.
Even if you don't try and read the touch, it's an unforced error, right? Because there's another car in your field of view now, and it messes up exactly what you want to do, and you can't read the ball as well. So pros are great at that. Zen will win this kickoff, but Jorius immediately attacks him, and this ball is spilling out. Stizzy doesn't go early. Monkey Moon beats him out with 0 boost.
Yeah, Stizzy might have been trying to bait Monkey Moon into the air and then jump and beat him, but you've got to be careful trying to do that against Monkey Moon. One of the fastest takeoffs in the game, especially with his high sensitivity settings. It's something that's very hard to play with. You should give it a go one day just to understand how hard it is. That's a good shot there by Exotic. Dignitas were ready for it inside the net. And as end of the ground double, it's blocked at the ground level by Stizzy.
But this is a half-minute of offensive action for Vitality because of that one play by Monkey Moon, and they will continue the pressure here with Zen going up early. Stizzy with a great read, though, so Exotic will just throw it wide, and Dignitas will take over. Apparently Jack, great dunk there. Can he follow it up with anything? He runs out of boost just in time, though, so Exotic will clear it out.
That's again, good spread by Dignitas as they try to cover all angles. Oh, Stizzy's taken out of the game here, though. Monkey Moon looking for a teammate in the middle, doesn't find one. Not quite on the same page, Vitality on that play.
A bit lucky there.
Jack now trying to muscle it through. As the center ball open, decides to just try and 50 it instead. So good 50 back by Stizzy, bringing Jorius into the play. Once more, Jack finds a way out of the play and back in with momentum and a timely arrival. Vitality being tested here. How's the boost management doing? Will they be able to challenge early enough? Yes, they will. Monkey Moon forces for Zen.
Zen will just wrap around the corner, try and get a 50. That's all he can do with 0 boost. Does well. Exotic will follow this up. Out pass to Monkey Moon. Gonna go for the little waterfall shot. Apparently Jack, great back wall read though. Clear it away. Zen wins that challenge and keeps the ball. Doesn't control it though. He decides to just throw it deep instead of going for one of his aerial plays. So Dignitas will get a little bit of a reprieve here. Monkey Moon though, trying down to Exotic. Apparently Jack again on that back wall with these early challenges.
That's well left by Jack, letting Stizzy back into the play. Jorius out with a reset. Jack's running interference in the net, but all Vitality players have stayed alive and in the position. We're getting those glimpses of the new, improved Dignitas playstyle here. They've left Monkey Moon open. He finds Zen with a pre-flip shot off the post. The passing again prioritized by Vitality and offense.
Could be nice.
And that's Vitality's bread and butter. That's what you want to do against a defense that wants to spread out. You want to find those holes and get those passes in there. They almost found the play there. Jorius with a shot, but all 3 defenders back. Exotic now 2v1, but he speeds ahead of the play, so Monkey Moon cannot get the demo. Zen will keep this alive for Vitality into the corner. A little bit awkward though, so Jorius will get the clear. Apparently Jack now hunting. What can he find? He can't. Okay. Jorius
what just happened?
Free? What happened here, Johnny?
Well, Monkey Moon was in the back corners there as well. But it looks like Jack might have quit Zen. As Zen jumped for this. Monkey Moon comes up. But Jack just, as Zen jumped up to intercept that, just interfered with his takeoff. Not much, but enough to force them off target.
And Monkey Moon just full trust. The demo comes out. Can Dignitas capitalize? No, Zen will turn it away. Monkey Moon trying to counterattack quickly here with Exotic. Back to Monkey Moon. Back to Exotic.
Nice.
Throws it high.
Nice,
Zen,
nice.
no follow-up from
Focus
Vitality.
up, focus up, focus up.
It's a good position for Vitality, though, if they could just keep this ball.
Okay, got the boost on the demo. Nice, nice.
Jack
You got
with a
time.
step over in his own goal.
Nice,
Now
got so
goes
much
straight down
time.
the middle. That's composure. Irritable
Nice
ball
bump.
lands.
Oh,
He tries to get the
no
goalie as
follow-up.
well. Nobody was able to catch up to the ball and help Jack out on that play. Frustrated Vitality.
Right.
Trying
Get him
once
off.
again to respond.
Get him
That's a
off.
Good defensive touch by Stizzy, just wasting time, putting the ball safely in the back corner.
Ooh, that'd be pretty big.
It's really going to come down to this
Nice.
offensive pressure. It feels like every time
Pretty good.
Dignitas has it, there's some weird fluke stuff
Vitality
happening.
does suck
that is
good pressure.
working
Once
out
they
for
get it
them.
going,
Obviously,
it's just a
Parent Jack
bit,
made that
it's a
happen
bit
with Zen,
AIDS.
but Monkey Moon could have made that save as well. But it is about just getting the ball upfield, playing the offensive half, try and force one of those mistakes to happen. And it's been working out well for Dignitas these past 2 games.
It's comfortable overhead catch by Stizzy. Frustrating Vitality again. Jack follows up to boom the ball to the backboard. With 40 seconds to go, the boost has been stolen. Not that Vitality are in a terrible position in terms of boost totals. Stizzy now with the mind games in the back corner. Exotics backwards, but manages to get the ball to go in front of the goal harmlessly. This is the last push for Vitality. Infield it goes. Zen has hit the post. That was an uncontested shot. He needs to put that on target.
Great pass by Monkey Moon. Zen just inches away from the shot. Can Vitality get another chance with 10 on the clock?
Nice. Over
Stizzy
him.
to Zen. Zen's
Someone-
gonna fake it.
someone,
Monkey Moon
no.
goes low. He gets around one. Just one defender left for Dignitas. The ball spills out middle. Can Exotic beat Joyce? He cannot.
Okay,
Joyce turns
come on,
away.
just get it down,
Zen
get it down, get it
back to
down.
Monkey Moon. The pre-flip shot cannot connect.
Someone,
Exotic
get it
keeps the ball
down.
alive.
No.
It's still in the corner alive.
Get it
Dignitas
down.
desperately wants to end this. Zen to Monkey Moon off the back wall.
Nice,
Stizzy
good pinch.
clears it
Double,
away
they got no
again. Zen
boost.
keeps it alive. Too Exotic. No boost though. Cannot get the shot.
They have no
This
boost.
should fall,
Nice.
and it does. Dignitas narrowly escape. Game 2. Game 3. 2 to half.
That was 0-second sequence. Vitality
so,
did quite well
like,
to keep it alive that long.
All over the
But
place.
they really couldn't get a direct shot at any point. Dignitas kept putting bodies in the way, just kept their cool, and it's timeout Vitality as they lose 2 games
Got the timeout as well,
in
that's
a
good.
row. They probably won't mind too much not having to play KC today.
It's a close
They
game,
don't have
isn't
the
it?
best matchup against them, but it's the fact that they're now losing to someone else in Europe as well that's going to really bother Vitality. This is the stuff that keeps these players up at night, losing to not just another team in Europe, but another team in Europe that doesn't even have any French players. I mean, what have Vitality fallen to here?
We talk about apparently Jack. He's going to be moving upfield, going for those bomb plays. That was the difference maker here in this game. Just barely clipping Zen, so he can't get a piece. Monkey Moon a little confused on defense as well, expecting the touch. So that was the difference in 5 minutes of play, was just that one clip onto Zen. And apparently Jack been doing it all year round. He's been ball chase mode, speed mode, one of the fastest players on the field in all of Europe throughout this entire split end season. And he just keeps doing it. He wants to be that front man, wants to create chaos to allow his 2 teammates to work, and it paid off there.
And it's one of the you know, the unsung stats. The average speed is not really that important, but it does often correlate with the players who are having the most success with this bump play style. You look at North America, you got Koper as the fastest player on average, and he's also landed the most demos. It makes sense, because if you're going faster, more of your bumps will just be demos and not those awkward little exchanges where you both kind of just bump off each other and now nobody's having fun. Yeah, Jack's been going through opponents like butter in these last couple of events. Vitality need to regain. They need to be extremely careful. If Jack's in the final third, if he's chasing someone around, you need to have 2 back. You can't give one person the full defensive responsibility. Monkey Moon could have covered Zen there, even though Zen says he's got the ball, goes up for it. Monkey Moon can still hang around just in case. He could be ready and jump as well if the bump does land. And it very often will with Jack on the pitch.
And if apparently Jack's upfield and you beat just
Alright, let's
one
go.
member, like in that midfield, it turns into a 2v1 incredibly quickly. So Vitality has to work on trying to get those 2v1 spots. Maybe Monkey Moon's upfield going for one of those demos as well. When
Game
those
4,
happen,
baby.
And they can capitalize on that. But
Nice.
as of now,
Go on.
Dignitas to Joris, back to Joris. Joris, the pre-jump of his life. He wanted the ball. Jack says no.
I had a little low. I'm so loud.
Well, at the moment,
Oh,
it's
my
Jack
ears,
with his
it's fucking
sidewall
bad.
double, just softly on
Right,
target.
they got this shit.
And
They
Jarius
keep this.
with
They keep the lead.
a
They
happy
keep the
little
lead.
accident, pre-jumping in to slot it home. I'm not sure if Jack Shot was going to creep in or not, so it was actually good that Jarius was there.
It's like the GK strategy. Just triple commit, it works. You know, at times, why not? Here we go again. Apparently Jack from
Let's
Stizzy,
fucking go.
who might have had an angle on the shot, but he leaves it for his boy. And
They're
Jack
winning.
will clean this up very easily.
go.
Monkey Moon, just nowhere. I'm not really
So
sure what he
good,
was
so
trying
good.
to position for that, because he wasn't making
Yeah.
the save. He didn't block the pass either.
They're
I
locked
think
in now.
he was probably just hoping that Stizzy's going to double it straight into him, or maybe Stizzy's going to try and double it across the goal, and he could play it from that angle. But yeah, wow, what a terrible start off the timeout from Vitality. It's all going wrong. Now Stizzy's looking for more mind games. It's
Nice.
mid for
Nice.
Jack and Stizzy to get busy.
Open. Oh,
Off the post, off Monkey Moon's dome.
so unlucky.
And clear
Such
towards
an
the
8
midfield.
angle, to be fair.
That was 2 demos on Vitality as well to make that chance happen, and Vitality gets
Nice.
away with one there for sure. They
Stizzy
had some
recovers.
bad luck earlier, but that was some good luck for them. So to keep them in this game, only 2 down. There's still 4 minutes left. They get a short chance here. Exotic cannot
Nice.
get it over anyone. Zen with the demo will take the ball, but no boost in mid, so he bails out of it. Monkey Moon will clear to the side, back to Zen, who will just clear it downfield to give a little breathing room.
And it seems like Vitality have
Doesn't trust each other.
stabilized. They stopped the leaking, and now they need to get
Nice.
to scoring.
Well up.
That's been
Follow
a
them.
pretty difficult task in the last few
You've got
games.
so much time.
Stizzy grind to air dribble, past then, looking
Dunk.
to dunk past Monkeyman. Monkeyman does well,
Oh,
doubles it down the line after initially
Good
getting the
50.
beat on Stizzy's
It's
touch.
open.
And
Oh.
Jarius nearly scores going the other way. Just looks so much easier for Dignitas to create those
Open.
opportunities.
I just don't understand. Like Monkey Moon did
Touch.
so much work
Flip.
there to beat 2, like on the save, and no one's in net, and Vitality barely makes the save afterwards. Just seems like they're all a little out of position, trying to
No
look for
idea.
some boost, but
Oh,
they
well
just can't
over.
get. Dignitas
Oh, he's
continuing
pre-jumping on the
with this
ceiling.
pressure, looking dominant so far in this game.
And they're finding those openings to just retreat, come back in, time
Must
the arrival
be.
as they
Oh.
return to the attack.
Well over.
So well.
Well over.
You need to
I'm
do
impressed by
this if
such
you're going to
little
play a
things.
spread out as they do. Otherwise, you end up looking like there's 3 players with their own plan. Oh,
Oh.
somebody's got hit now. Stizzy with a tap in as it goes off the back corner, and Monkey Moon is completely behind the dice.
Like, this has been the issue with Vitality. Even though, yes, the great game out yesterday, it wasn't.
You'll never see
about
anything like this
It was
one
about just
ever again.
random misses by Vitality at times. The unforced errors just cannot be happening with 3 world champions on your squad. It just cannot happen. And right now, it's been happening all season long for Vitality, which is why I think a lot of people are down on them. And Dignitas looking to claim that number 2 team in Europe title.
I mean, yeah, that was it wasn't just a misread. I mean, Monkey Moon might be
This is
seeing
backwards.
2 Rocket League balls right now because he was way off. He was in a completely different postcode, jumping up to try and get that read. Misses the center ball as well. Jarius will chaperone the ball
Oh,
clear
what
towards
pass
Stizzy now in the middle.
moves.
It's
Oh
wide
my
open.
god, they're
Of
so
course, it is 4-0.
they're so good.
And it's just another
They're just
terrible
so
goal for
good.
Vitality to be conceding.
It's all falling apart. There's only one man back, and I think it was Exotic.
Nice.
Just goes to the sidewall, leaves the entire midfield open, turns it to the easiest goal ever for Dignitas, and Vitality falling apart in front of our faces.
And
Nice.
Dignitas did not need Vitality to completely collapse. They were already
Yeah, they're
in over the series, and now they're absolutely dominating.
Oh,
Vitality needs
together.
to regain again. They were able to get a mini
It's
regain
gonna
against
take a
GK
massive
earlier
reset.
after
Cross
GK
it, across the
destroyed them in one of the games. I think it was game 2 in the match they played. But that was just a loss to tie the series. This is a loss to go down 3-1 in the making.
After
Vitality
timeout.
after a time. I mean, yeah, there's not really a lot of good things to write home about
Yeah,
right now.
this is
Zed
not an
could
ideal
maybe make
game
something
after a
happen. No,
timeout.
Jarius will slam it clear. It was close, but not close enough. The goal's almost open again at the other end.
And you can't play Vitality like at this point. Like Monkey Moon had like 20 boost. He's 3rd man. He's got to make a play on it. They're down 4 with 1:30. So you expect them to give up wide open goal here,
Nice.
Oh,
but they haven't yet. Dignitas, great defense to keep this scoreless. And Joris trying to move it downfield. Apparently Jack right behind him. Joreus is trying to be a nuisance. Stizzy by himself, going to go up early. Joreus will back him up. It doesn't matter. Stizzy doing it by himself. To turn it away. Apparently Jack brings it downfield. It's all about bleeding the clock now. You're up 4. You don't have to do anything crazy. Like, it's almost preferred. Like, no more kickoffs. So let's just keep this ball, like in the middle of the field. It'll take a long time to score. Joreus! Nothing can go wrong for Dignitas right now.
What just happened? Saved by Joreus. He knew that he had to get a touch on that ball. There was going to be somebody tapping it in if he didn't. And he hits it off the underside of his own crossbar to clear it.
That was so
they
smart.
Can do no wrong.
Like, he's actually he's plugged in right now.
He's going to try and set up a teammate with this one. Monkey Moon says no. But that is beyond game over. Vitality
get one back.
Might get one. They do. Well, with 17 seconds left, Dignitas just have to get a hold of the ball once to confirm the win.
I feel like Joreus has earned some luck after his years of his curse in the quarterfinals. You know, he's had a lot of bad luck in the past. So Dignitas, I would say, like game 2 and 3, they had some fortunate plays that went their way. That happens in Rocket League, but it just continues. But also, they're doing it, that they are making this luck happen. Dignitas will take this game. Vitality trying to get one last goal for the road. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Monkey Moon will clear it back into his own half. And Dignitas up
match point
to 1, trying to end this one early.
Yeah, super impressive after the slow starting game 1, the warm-up game, their first game of the day.
Oh, is that beef?
Yeah. They have not looked back, and Vitality not able to provide a whole lot of resistance on this one. There were mistakes, misreads in defense. Dignitas were there to capitalize every single time. You know, that being said, Dignitas, you have to give them credit for their ability to play off of each other's touches. There's a lot of randomness in these games. Dignitas are the team who are ready to react to that every single time.
That Joreus pre-jump, all planned.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you spam calculated, right? Or like right after that, and then just the wide open plays, Vitality leaving their net open.
So good.
Monkey was like, what can we do?
Monkey Moon with the little mini tilt IRL and the eye roll is that's just cinema after Joreus booms his own crossbar.
And we talked to Coach Cassio earlier. He's like, our number one problem has to be confidence, right? And after these games, it just feels like Vitality's just down in the dumps, and it's like it's going to be so hard to climb out of this.
It really is, but yeah, they're up against it. They're up against a great team. Dignitas, in the form of their lives, it's not just about form for this team, but the best form we've ever seen any of their players in. I guess you can maybe say Jack Rotterdam Major at the time winning the MVP was a pretty high for him, but they are just so in sync. And
okay, boys, let's not see
what
straight
time
away.
to level up like this. Exotic does get one early. Zen was able to set it up. That's a promising start. Once again, somewhat of a 1-2 passing play with Zen this time. Running at interference on the goal line.
Yeah, that time Dignitas was just caught in rotation. 2 members going back on defense, so they couldn't block that midfield pass. Because it was a very deep midfield pass that's normally blockable, but Zen found the opening to redirect it on net and make some confusion happen. Exotic, great cleanup. And so Vitality needs, man. They don't have confidence, so score early, try and find a way to regain that momentum.
They've got the momentum back, to be fair.
That's good defense by Zen. Not a lot of boost. Still gets an effective touchdown field now. Exotic's starting to advance the ball, but he can't get past Stizzy. Stizzy, not for the first time this week, tries to go 1v3. He just gets the ball past opponents.
Spoo spawned on him.
And manages to keep such close control of it in the process.
Monkey Moon on 0. He was kind of offering the play before that. On 0. Stizzy, though,
that was insane down.
Vitality gets away with 1. Exotic gonna look for a clear out to Zen. Great 50 though. So, but Monkey Moon does get the clear. 1 man back. Joreus will clear it to the side for some breathing room, but Vitality with Zen going up the wall, throwing it off.
So quick.
Joreus though, a little bit miscommunication there with his teammate. But so far, just a little bit of a midfield game. Both sides making some small mistakes here, but nothing too threatening yet.
Yeah, Dignitas, they probably should have tied it. It was a tough shot for Stizzy when he did hit the bar. He needed to manage his boost perfectly to get up high enough.
Still pretty locked in, to be fair.
The warning was there. Vitality have got to shape up here. They're, hoping that Dignitas missed their chances. I think they're going to be hoping in vain over the course of the next game or 2 or maybe 3. so far is still Vitality in the lead. Stizzy bumping Zen back into his own shot. That gives time for Jorius to cover Exotic's follow-up. Another counter-attack from Jorius. He's flicked it from distance. Zen gets up and deflects it into the corner.
Nuts.
Jorius, a threat on both sides of the field. We see it again. Great save. Turns it straight into a counterattack. Almost scored again for a 2-goal swing. But gets just barely not enough on it. Jorius, though, somehow gets that demo on Exotic to keep this play alive. Apparently, Jack throws it mid. Monkey Moon's there. Beats one, but Jorius just throws it deep, so Zen will get an easy clear. And throws it deep to Dignitas. And both teams just looking for that boost control, trying to throw it deep and refresh it. Infield pass to Exotic, cannot read it. Only had 10 boosts left in the tank.
It's not a good touch by Exotic as it naturally clears itself, ending the attack rapidly. Zen's actually got a good setup here. Exotic has another try at it, but once more, Dignitas are able to turn these saves into counter-attacks. Vitality with Zen now looking for a double. It's gone straight down, might have clipped Jack as well. Zen is pretty consistently outplaying the Dignitas defense, but he needs some help here to get the goal. Zen denied with his own shot this time. Dignitas, hold on.
Joris, another
they need to just get out. They can't get out. Jack just keeps getting
throughout this match, and doing a good job of forcing those rebounds to corners or to just gain possession by himself. But here's the play out to Zen. Exotic decides to take it by himself and not go for the pass.
Nice.
Monkey Moon
surely you're
trying
out.
to do something with it, but nothing is there.
Nice.
So
Good touches. Good touches.
take
Good
over.
touches.
Pass
Take your time. Low 50.
Doesn't have any boost. Jory
Nice
has a
bomb.
chance of the shot. Jack is trying to disrupt. The tap
He
down
missed.
cannot hit it by the left corner.
Well, they're denied by the crossbar earlier. Now the post comes to Vitality's rescue. The bump landed. The setup was good. The shooting from Dignitas has declined slightly in Game 5.
It's game of inches, and Dignitas 2 inches away.
Nice.
From a 2-1 lead. At 3 inches away from a 3-1 lead. Apparently, Jack hits it wide.
And it's the post again. That update doing work in this game. Jorius tries to advance again, running into a pretty high defensive line. Vitality ready to defend further upfield, so they don't need to rely on the post and the crossbar as much as they have. Dignitas should have absolutely put one of those chances away.
Fuck, it should be 1-1 right
I mean,
now.
they should have put at least 2 in, right? So they should be in the lead right now, but instead, Vitality holding on, trying to bleed this clock out. Dignitas, though, is not done
30
just
seconds,
yet.
they only need 1 goal. Come on.
Bad touch there by Dig, and it'll turn into a counterattack. Jack off his back, cannot read it. Jorius, though, will get the clear. 20 on the clock, and Dignitas has to find possession.
It looks like they'll get one chance at a counter-attack here. Vitality are pretty pushed up. Exotic bangs it on target. Jorius pops it up. Jack stays in the midfield to try and chase this one down. Can't get there in time. Jorius collects the air dribble. Needs some help getting the attack started, though. Jack can't get past Exotic. It looks like he's got mid past everyone, though. But Zen, confident third-man challenge. Backs Dignitas up into a corner. It looks like they're going to be able to make it across the line here, or will they? Hold on a second. They need Zen to do something here. Jack keeps it in the air. Jory is meant to Stizzy. Zen does cover it. And Dignitas did a great job. They are going to get one more opportunity.
Jack off the wall. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Can get it midfield, though. Jorius is up first.
Oh my
Zen
God,
backflips out of it.
No.
But Jorius, poor touch. Looking for the pass, but Zen read it because of that backflip where he didn't go into the air to challenge. And Vitality claw back in.
Just, the right word there, clawing back in. They barely did enough. Got the early goal and then just survived. It was overall a far better showing from Vitality, however. Dignitas shooting has gone back to the Stone Age in that game. But Vitality were able to get far more possession, more pressure than in the previous few games. So definitely some promising signs for the former world champions.
Yeah, but it did feel like the chances were still on Dignitas' side. We talked about it, 3 inches away from 3 goals. So the chances were there for Dignitas. I think Vitality, they still have some work to do. Yes, they had the offensive possession, but now it's more about let's make those turn into something. Watch out for those counterattacks as well out of Dignitas. So I think there's still work to be done, but they will be very, very pleased with that result, because that was a game I think Dignitas, while it didn't have possession, had more chances on net than Vitality. So Vitality will take it, go into Neo Tokyo down 3-2, trying to make the comeback.
And you know, I'd like to see Vitality attack the near post more. We're seeing Dignitas counter-attack off of shadow defense saves so many times. The swatting save to the back corner immediately turns into a wall play, either an air dribble or a clear. And I think if Vitality could just go for that near post more, you're gonna get follow-ups so much more quickly and keep that attack going a bit longer.
So here's Zen getting some possession, throws it a little too deep, so Joris will just turn it away.
Oh, nice.
Some demos coming out. Zen looking for 2 demos, can't get the second.
Let's go.
Apparently Jack will just rip this one on net. Monkey Moon and
Sure,
Zen both jump,
double
but
joint.
Monkey Moon does make a clean save. But
Good
Zen will
demos.
die for it, and
Good
wide
demos.
open net for
Oh, they're
Stizzy.
so locked
That was
in.
all because apparently Jack, with the demo, forces Zen on the respawn.
Come on,
With the
boys.
double commit by
Let's see it,
Vitality,
let's see it.
opens up the door for a wide open net.
I mean, Monkey Moon, he's missed the catch in the back corner. Exotic saw that, tried to help out, but they've just both bum rushed the back corner and left the net open, left mid open. It's a careless defensive play once again for Vitality.
Oh,
Apparently
the
Jack
beat
again
flip.
with that physical play, making it happen to begin this lead here. That could clinch that
Sizzy's
another grand finals
actually so
appearance
good.
versus K-Corp. Vitality desperately, though, wants a 12th attempt on K-Corp. They want to eventually beat them, and here's a chance. Zen cannot get the shot in. Apparently Jack will just redirect this out, but Exotic with 30 boosts in the tank gets the low 50 on apparently Jack. Can anyone drop it down? Monkey Moon to Zen somehow finds a hole to tie it up.
Oh, Stizzy thought he could turn and hit this. He didn't realize it was coming at him that quickly, and then he's panicked on the next go as well. Couple of
Stizzy,
back-to-back blunders by Stizzy there,
I was just saying you were.
allowing
I
Vitality
was
back into the game.
complimenting you.
Vitality needed that, as it wasn't the cleanest conversion by them either.
Exotic right off the kickoff, trying to get around one. Can't. Zen will just throw it on net. Apparently Jack, awkward save. Exotic, double tap or pass, turns into a pass, but Monkey Moon cannot clean it up. But the redirect just throws it high. And Dignitas will control into their own corner. Jory's though on 0 boost. So see if Exotic can do much here. Leaves it for Zen. Zen with the bump. No, apparently Jack avoids it and gets the clear.
Vitality staying in the final third for a long time here. Zen with the ceiling drop down pass. It's towards Monkey Moon, who digs the post as well. He is trying to slot that one in the corner. And he's missed it, much like Dignitas did last game.
It's a good sign though for Vitality. Now it's offense possession with scoring chances as well. Zen, he's got a chance. The flip reset into the 50, down to Monkey Moon. All of Dignitas diving in front of every single challenge to keep this ball out.
That's another heavy commit to the back corner by Vitality in defense.
Ugh.
They've got to be careful here. They're creating a lot of volatility near their goal, and that could end in the ball spilling mid at pace for Dignitas to follow up on. So there's another heavy hit across the goal by Zen. Dignitas will not mind that at all. Destroy his forces for his teammates behind him. Chance for Zen. Challenge well. It's good defense once more by Dignitas.
So close
Vitality
game.
just has to be like, all right, let's keep
It
playing
might
our
actually
game. We're
could
getting
go
our
to game
scoring
7.
chances.
I really hope it does.
We have the pressure.
Oh my.
I mean, I
But
don't
you
want to-
can't give up the free one. You can't do it. The great challenge in the air by Joris, and Jack is just sitting there waiting for the easiest goal of his life.
Well,
So
I guess
nonchalant.
the target man play style can pay off in Rocket League.
So
the
cold.
poaching from this guy. I mean, referee, he was miles offside. Vitality did not keep somebody back to mark him. Jack punishes them on a huge dunk by Joris.
Oh,
That's got to be
nuts.
so frustrating for Vitality. So many scoring opportunities, can't get them. With great defense by Diggs, desperation defense, and another one goes wide. 2 demos though, so Zen will keep his play alive. They're going for more demos.
Good
Apparently
fucking
Jack
stop.
avoids it.
Let's go.
And gets the challenge out. Diggs
Oh!
again somehow gets the
What is
ball
going
out.
on?
And the shooting's
This
not
game's
been
chaos.
good enough in this game. Exotic there hitting the post. And, you know, it wasn't close. It wasn't post and across. It was just flat. So, you know, both teams have struggled with accuracy over the last couple of games. Dignitas, 90 seconds away from another grand final against Karmine Corp.
Not only that, we'll take over the overall EU #2 heading into Raleigh, so if they just match Vitality and Raleigh, they will get that seed going into the World
I
Championship.
thought it was someone was there. That would have been
But Dig
nuts.
wants more. They want K-Corp again. They want to prove that they can do it twice in a row.
Nice pinch.
As we see Zen trying to do it all, but again, Dignitas there to deny and clear it deep. More demos coming out, more physical play. Lots of physical play coming out, more and more demos. Monkey Moon has some space, tries to get around one. Apparently Jack will get the clear though, and Vitality has to be careful. Zen barely getting a touch on that. Got to be careful of their third man. Yes, you are down one, but you still have plenty of time on the clock.
And if they concede now, it would make the game infinitely more difficult. Yes, we'd be back at a kickoff, which can often result in a goal for someone, but Vitality have got to try and stay resolute here. We're not in the absolute last seconds quite yet. They will be soon. Jory is with the stealing clear. Flicks it to the backboard. Zen offload to the Monkey Moon. The Dignitas are challenging early. They're not sitting back. They are showing how to close out a game with aggression.
Every single time there's one Dignitas player in the face of Vitality. Vitality can't get anything going. We talk about them spread around, but they always have one on the ball, glued to it for every single challenge. Just keeping Vitality from getting any scoring chances in the back half of this game. Monkey Moon, one last opportunity. Tries to get it to Zen. Plays it slow for Zen. But the ball spills out to Exotic. Jory is clear. Zen's getting bumped out. This is it. Somehow he keeps it alive.
What?
Zen with another touch. The shot by Exotic cannot get there. Zen again will keep it up. Monkey Moon to Zen, but Zen's got no boost. He's going to go pick that up.
Get it down.
Exotic trying to feed his teammate.
Get it down.
Jory is off the ceiling. Just wants this to drop. It will not fall. Monkey Moon, one last chance. Another deny. Make that another chance here. Zen tries to keep it up, and it finally falls, and Dignitas will get another shot at K-Corp to make it back-to-back regional champions.
Let's go.
Just too good. Over the course of the series, no doubt, Dignitas are just simply better at the moment. Vitality to set up a third in Europe. Dignitas entering the KC tier, a tier no other team in the world has been able to get into all year. Dignitas are set to join them. I think they need to beat them again to probably get into that tier, I'd say, but this is a solid performance. Even with the chances going astray in game 5, even with the slow game 1, Dignitas were still clearly in control.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It is K-Corp and Dignitas, but now we're going to have a great matchup there coming up, Dignitas, K-Corp. It's only a 4-point difference, Johnny, between the two teams for this split. So the EU1 seed will be on the line in this matchup coming up. Dignitas can take that from K-Corp. So we'll see if they can do it. Vitality will have to settle for third place. But Dignitas looking to become back-to-back regional champions against the final boss, K-Corp, right after the break.
There's a reason they don't call them clean bikes, am I right?
Yeah.
Because it's dirt bike.
Gas stations. Whew.
You gotta start at the top and work your way down. You want me to do yours next? Oh, you're from Oklahoma.
They have to fill the silence.
The bathroom code's 9914.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home
Good. I'll be back in 1 second.
No one, not even WhatsApp, can see your personal messages. So, wherever you're meeting, stays private.
Smooth calls on my Galaxy Book 4 Edge with my S25 Ultra as my webcam. Clear, flexible, wireless. Storage share means I can access my Galaxy S25 Ultra videos easily on my Book 4 Edge, and AI Select helps me identify more from my own clips. So smart.
Good morning!
You wake up, good morning, is a brand new day. Blue skies above, it's a perfect day.
That's my boy. Oh.
Say hi, Churchill. Oh, hello, my good boy.
Be sweeter than the sweetest with the new Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection.
They're the psycho, dressed up like Brendo, trying to kill us!
Being a soldier is all about teamwork, but you already know that. What you're asking yourself is, what's in it for me?
Yes, sir.
Becoming an electrician. That's what was in it for me.
Worship. Kentucky original wrap for $2.49. Get the deal. Believe in chicken.
This is you on your first day as a teacher. This is a class you'll inspire. This is a lesson you'll learn from her and them.
Day by day, and night by night. Let's get a little bit more chill. Oh, I've only got 26 seconds left as well. Converge. Why am I just stop?
Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series.
They're the psycho, dressed up like Brendo, trying to kill us!
Ah.
Finals, it really doesn't have that many implications, but sure, both teams are going to the major, but Dignitas is looking to be the EU 1 seed after what K-Corp has done is absolutely insane.
Okay, well, let's talk about it in a second here. Let's break down this match a little bit. Or we can talk about it now, I guess. Say it again.
Yeah, so Dignitas, they're only 4 points down. Leaf, trivia, how many points do you get for a Grand Finals win over the other team?
How many points do you get for a Grand Finals win over the other team? It was 5 points, sir?
6 points. I knew you would get it wrong. That's okay. Dignitas,
Maybe do math.
5 or 6 works, but Dignitas will take over the EU 1 seed if they win this by 2 points going into the Raleigh Major. And obviously for the full year, K-Corp has a huge lead on that, so they don't have to worry too much just yet. But Dignitas looking to become back-to-back regional champions against what everyone considers the best team in the world, John.
Yeah, they look like they could do it as well. They're playing such great Rocket League. You know, some inaccuracies here and there, but overall the game plan looks great. The execution looks great, and even when they do make some mistakes, they're right back into action. And in comparison, Vitality just seem like they start to just fall apart at times and just lose goal after goal. We've got Monkey Moon eye rolling in real life. They're just not quite on the same page, and they're not covering each other as well as Dig are.
Yeah, but it just feels like when there's an ounce of chaos, like Dignitas thrives, while Vitality, it just falls apart, right? Vitality's like, oh, we have this game plan, but once one thing goes wrong, they get out of position, they get confused, while Dignitas is like, yeah, sure, Joris, pre-jump this on accident and just follow it up and score and just make it work. It just seems like Dignitas can figure it out quicker than Vitality right now. And we always talk about, father time happens to all of us. It feels like that's what's happening to a Monkey Moon. But at the same time, his competition, Jack and Joris, have been around forever as well. So, they're doing so well late, into their careers. So, hats off to Dignitas. They look like they could, once again, take down K-Corp.
Yeah, let's take a look at that season over again, just to give you guys a visual of where we're at. We are almost done. I said it a moment ago, and I wasn't lying to you. Open number 6 has one grand final left to go through. And then we're into the ones next week, and then it's just LAN, LCQ, and LAN. And then the 2025 season is then done. You can't get more tickets for Worlds there, but you can join us at Raleigh. So again, last time here, I want to shout it out. Well, I'll do it one more time at the end of the day. But for now, go get your tickets. Scan that QR code. Please join us. We just love hanging out and wandering around, talking to fans, watching some great Rocket League. It is an atmosphere that you just can't understand it until you've been there. Ask anybody that's been to a LAN and they're going to tell you it's something else. If you've been to a concert of one of your favorite bands, you'll know that feeling. It's something super special. Everyone's there to hang out and celebrate the same thing, and it's really cool. So we love to see you guys there.
Maybe you were waiting for your favorite team to make it if you're a big fan of the Mates who just qualified. Maybe now is your time to buy your tickets and head on over to the East Coast.
All right, well, let's start moving on here because, as I said, a grand finals is waiting for us. Dignitas and K-Corp are our last matchup, and man, it should be a good one. We've seen this one already before, Johnny. This is a rematch now of our last qualifier. We all know how that went. We've seen the blue wall bleed.
We have, and this, just simply the fact that we're going into a K-Corp final and we're going into a match regionally against K-Corp, and we really do think that this is winnable for the other team is kind of crazy, because after 4 events, nobody would have thought that that's possible. The GK run was a flash in the pan and then back to normal, but Dignitas have really leveled up and they're looking to make that jump into S tier, in my opinion. And K-Corp in the global Rocket League world, they've kind of put themselves in a tier of their own, but Dignitas are trying to get up to that level with a win today. I reckon they would.
K-Corp versus Dignitas. This is a matchup that we talked about at the beginning, Gibbs, during the pre-show. We started the entire day saying these two teams look like they are on collision course, and we were not mistaken. Here they are in the grand finals.
Yeah, our pre-show bracket is perfect so far. I'll see if that continues. We had K-Corp winning this, and very likely, I assume most of us will pick K-Corp. But Dignitas, just one of those teams that hangs around, and we saw it in last year's. I don't think it was perfect Rocket League out of Dignitas, but last Open, it wasn't perfect Rocket League until they played K-Corp as well, when then they really played up to K-Corp's level. Like, it wasn't K-Corp playing down to their competition. Dignitas rose to that challenge, so Dignitas will try and do it again here. But K-Corp is the final boss of all of Rocket League. Everyone expects them to be in all these grand finals. They have been so far of this year. Can they set the record? No European team has ever won 4 regionals in a season. That even includes when we had 9 regionals. So K-Corp is looking to do something that no other European team has ever done. And Dignitas is looking to do the unthinkable, winning back-to-back versus the best team in the world.
Yeah, Johnny, that's the other thing. It's like, sure, you've done it once, but can you do it again? I mean, there's a reason that we continually to put, all of our predictions behind the blue walls, because over time they've been that consistent variable when it comes to this European region.
Yeah, they have, and I think they've responded well to that loss even immediately afterwards. I liked the takes I was hearing from them and seeing from them on socials. So immediately, you're thinking good things based on the loss. They say that this is something to learn from. It's good. Somebody's finally at their level, and they're taking it now to the next level. I think, and getting the revenge in the process. These guys, they don't like losing, and luckily for them, they don't have to lose very often. But they'll want to get their quota of 2 regional wins per split. They need this one to make that quota.
A progressive fan vote is live now, and I'm not gonna lie. Generally, we will see the blue wall overtake these, but I have a feeling Dignitas might edge this one out here because it's happened before. People want to see this team just lift themselves and elevate into that upper echelon that Johnny was just talking about a moment before, where it seems like K-Corp was sitting by themselves, and I think that'd be a great story going into Raleigh if we can have another team at that level. But again, they have to do that here up against the blue wall. Dignitas, I think they're ready for it. But Gibbs, I mean, what's it going to be? We talked about the offense versus the defense in your head. What wins? We saw it win last time. The offense.
I feel like Dignitas is going to have to be that pop-off potential. When there is chaos and you do get open and you have space, these players are going to have to make a play. Like, apparently Jack is going to be the one upfield trying to cause that chaos, and if he can do that, then there's a chance. But K-Corp just rotates so well. They don't get demoed that often. It's going to be very, very difficult for Dignitas to pull it off again. They did it last time, and they did it against a good K-Corp, but still, I'm just going to throw my prediction out there. I'm going K-Corp here to get that regional win.
I was going to say, Johnny, if there's anyone on the desk that might go Dig, I feel like it might be Gibbs because he's been on this team for a while, but even if he's not, I imagine you aren't either.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going KC, you know, sticking with actually just the bracket we joint predicted at the start of the day. So far, it's worked out pretty well. So going to go KC here, further revenge, but I'm hoping we get another great series. Last time they played, it was absolute cinema. Let's have at it.
Yeah, I can't break it either. If it happens again here, then yeah, my predictions will be thrown into skew going forward if this happens to be a matchup in Raleigh. But right now, it just has to be K-Corp on the pick just through numbers. Hey, I had a feeling, I'm not going to lie, I had a feeling that Dignitas might win the fans' hearts right now, and I want to see that story. I think it'd be exciting either way. I know it's going to be an amazing game of Rocket League, and it's here. The grand finals is finally upon us, the last European qualifier before we hit LAN and then Worlds. Dignitas versus K-Corp. Is K-Corp inevitable, or can Dignitas do it again?
So, for the last time this season, let's get to it. KC have been the team to beat. Dignitas have been happy to beat them. Can they do it twice in a row, CJ? As we get into our game one, brought to you by Progressive.
How about that chat vote? It feels like KC fans versus the world. The people want to see Dig go back to back. KC want to continue their seasonal domination. I think it's going to be a good one, Shogun.
Well, it seems like the French have been unable to dislodge this team from the very top. So what do we go towards? We go to the Spanish, an Englishman, as well as someone from the Netherlands. Not quite the usual trio of nations to come together for this sort of stuff. But hey, you got to do what you got to do when you're against a Titan this strong.
Man, they just create a bit of magic, a bit of a hodgepodge of nations, as you mentioned, and
I really hope
it's created a team that it looks like, you know, one of the only teams that can take down KC, who are looking unstoppable outside of last event. Open 5 was to Dig, and open 6 go Dig's way as well. Joris, he wants a double reset to kick things off, turns it into an air dribble. They are looking confident. We do talk as well, Shogun, about playing the most recent semi-final. Obviously, that was Dignitas, so perhaps they are warmed up going into game one.
Yeah, there's always the chat between, is it a warm-up, is it tiring? They won't care whatsoever. They're all about trying to get the win. Joris is all over them at the moment. For a player that has been around for as long as he has been, he seems so renewed in his energies in this game. I was like, you know, when he joined onto the scene, there was such high hopes for him, and he never quite reached them. But for the last few months, Joris has been that guy for this team. Here's Jack, backboard. Vatira should have this covered, but has to settle for a 50.
Yeah, I think Joris, his colours were lowered, I'd say, when he joined Matey, and obviously went over to North America. But I don't want to be biased. When he joined the OCE boys on the Chiefs and the Great White was born, it really raised his international stocks. They actually took down Gentlemates on that occasion a couple of times. And there's a great shot. Jack, even better save. Dig able to keep it out for now. Keep the scores tied at 0-0. But KC are pressing here. Here we go. Vatira reset. Jack with another save, but they're low boost.
This is the one thing that Dignitas did last time that really threw KC off, is that KC find the demos against everybody, except this team. They come so close, but Dignitas have got this ability just to avoid them. That one's going to be a touch high. Stizzy's waiting around. Vatira's straight on him. In comes Atto. Big challenge from Jorius. Stizzy will take over. No real issues.
Yeah, I think Atto wanted the close double. Instead, it's rolled up the wall. Still, it's been KC with the majority of the offense. You do know how quickly D can turn things around. Atto with space. Creates the 50. Oh, it's another double crit. It's a trailing Vatira combo again, Shogun. They
No, stop lagging.
back in action.
Oh, here comes Vatira. Backboard, and it's not quite enough. He couldn't get over the ball, but the follow-up shot is considerably uncontested.
Look at this combo. Sometimes they're a little bit too close. Sometimes they get the positioning perfect. Raleigh, no flip. Had to use the fast aerial double jump. And he has slotted that top corner. The bump comes through for Vatira. KC 1-0.
When you're playing a series at this pace, though, you just have to accept that, yes, sometimes we're going to get in each other's way. Yes, we're going to double commit, but play what's fluid. Play what feels good. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But if we're spending our entire time worrying that we're going to double commit, we're going to be slow. We're not going to be able to do what we want.
Charlie on ball. Oh, that's a nice
Zero boost.
What's it done? Zero boost still. The double wave dash to pop it around two. That time won't be as effective as you'd liked, but still looked mighty nice. Just the things that these guys can do these days with minimal boost or zero boost in the tank. Raleigh is just, he's playing hopscotch on the ball, and he's absolutely got the dig defenders in a spin.
I mean, we've seen what he could do with 100 boost. Didn't know he could do that with zero. Popped a wheelie at one point just to control the ball a little bit further. Jorius immediately challenged. There's very little boost at the moment, and they're going to be let away with it. Here comes Jack. Vatira quite easily has that one covered. 1 goal difference as we head in towards the final minute of the game. Is it about to be 2? Yes, it is.
It's just easy as you like. Vatira sits downfield, grabs the corner boost. Atto throws it on net. Just back post. Vati does the rest. No one back for Dig. KC looking like they're out for revenge here.
And that's the reason why no one can look at this and say, oh, okay, they're all qualified. It doesn't mean anything. Like, this is all about being the best team in Europe heading in towards what is only lands for the rest of the season for these teams. You need that momentum. Casey, they want to know that this team hasn't caught up to them. They just had a blip.
Yeah, we heard it from apparently Jack as well. They want to play every tournament. They want to win every tournament. They're not just going to be complacent with qualifying for major, qualifying for the World Championships in Lyon. They want to go back-to-back. Jorius makes that touch, and then on the other side of things, as you mentioned, you just know how competitive Vatira is. He wants to win. He doesn't like to lose. So when he gets a chance at revenge, they're going to make it count.
Well, so far, this has been incredibly well controlled from KC. Doing everything that was required of them. Andrade's just going to boom the ball long. Stizzy will take over, though that touch is straight down to Atto. Right now, Dignitas not clicking the way that they typically would. At the same time, it was worse than this when we saw these two teams play 2 weeks ago. Game 1 was a thrashing from KC, and then Dignitas figured it out. Dignitas might even look at this and just go, that wasn't as bad as last time. We're in a good spot.
Yeah, glass half full start, but KC are going to take it 2-0 every day of the week. They've been looking fantastic so far on Champ Sunday. Maybe some late magic. What's a redirect for Stizzy? It doesn't mean anything, but it could mean everything for momentum going into the next game. Jack with the reset. What is with teams scoring the best goals when the game is over?
Stizzy just did that just to make sure he wasn't under 100 points that game. That's the only reason why he scored that. 1-0 to KC. Yeah, they don't seem overly bothered by that goal.
Yeah, 1-0, well, 1-0
Charlie is quite literally looking down his nose at that goal. He really could not care less.
I don't know, if I'm Dignitas off that last little play, I'm thinking, oh, let's get into the next game. Forget about a timeout. I want to hop straight in, use that momentum. It was still 7 shots to 6, so that's a big metric for Carmine Corp usually. If they're, you know, I think we mentioned in the previous series they played 14 shots to 4 against Gentlemates. Like, that's their play style, but Dig actually outshot them in that game. So it did look heavily KC-sided, but not to be there. That's a good sign for Dig.
I think Dignitas though just couldn't really get the ball under control. I'm fairly certain a lot of those shots would just be, we've cleared the ball long and it just so happens to be on target, but it wasn't really all that threatening to KC, who, yeah, I mean, they're playing very, very well at the moment. And it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're double committing, does it? They're just so fast. They read each other so well. It might matter a little bit more, but Dignitas got to find 2 more gears worth of pace in order to capitalize on anything.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Raleigh and Vatira, it feels like they've morphed into one person, but it's working. You know, they're double committing, but they're also combining up front better than any duo we've seen. So great play from KC, great start, but just that little glimmer at the end there for Dig. Game 1, I do like seeing that, and they can bring confidence going into this to tie it up.
The same way they were getting a lot of their opportunities 2 weeks ago as well. It's just leaving somebody downfield. So getting success in the same manner will give them a decent amount of confidence. As that's just dropping almost there. Stiz going to make sure of it. Nice. Did not trust the crossbar, and he was right to have trust issues.
Yeah, make sure of it. What's a 50 from apparently Jack? There is zero nonsense about that thing. Offensive third, he's showing the aggression. Just hit it with pace. And, well, we mentioned that last goal. It may mean nothing for game 1, but it could mean everything going into game 2.
Back down again, Raleigh. Oh, that's a lot to work with. And he quickly decides that one's not going to work out for him. Stizzy, he's done all of that. I think he really wanted somebody to challenge him so he could outplay them. Oh, it's a big misread! Raleigh has caused the whoopsie!
We don't see this too often. Atto loses to 50. Jorius, Jack ready. And Raleigh hopping onto the backboard. Thought he had the easy clear. Just doesn't jump in time. Fingers might be a bit cold, or a Dig putting the pressure on.
So 2-0. Out of nowhere, really. And Dignitas has now scored 3 goals in what is effectively 40 seconds of gameplay. We include the last one. Nice touch there from Jorius. Vatira looking to try and bump Jack. Raleigh trying to put that last play behind him and try and create a little bit of magic for his team. They're going to need it at the moment. This game has gone pretty horribly to this point. Stizzy avoid Vatira and get the ball. He accomplishes both.
We saw in the semi-final against Gentlemates for KC, they are susceptible to a bit of momentum. That happened when KC were 3-0 up, though. That was pretty much series over, having to reverse sweep. But Dig have turned it around in 1 game, and pretty much less than 1 game we saw in that final goal, Shogun. So they can get on a run here, Dig. They can certainly put the heat on Carmine Corp.
Well, so far, we are following the exact same script from the last time these two faced in the finals. All right, well, we've got a bit of a difference. And it's a couple of misplays really starting to litter this series. Jack's just overplayed it.
Yeah, that's poor. That's poor from Jack. He went for a reset off the roof and thought he'd just catch it with an air dribble, but it's easy to say in hindsight, but it is a risky play still. He could have just popped it across, had Stizzy on the right wall. He went the solo instead and gives him a free goal.
Finally, a bit of momentum going back towards KC. Raleigh only can collect the ball, but he can air dribble it. Jack on the follow-up. Raleigh's just not clicked just yet in this game. Really struggling with a lot of his plays. Good bump. Here comes Vatira, backboard. He's under pressure. Next up is Raleigh. He chooses not to try and take any unnecessary risks. Do not want to be back down by 2. Stizzy's got to avoid Vatira. And now here comes Atto. It's just too much.
He's still got chances, can bump everyone on the line, but Jack's first on the scene. Shot wide, Jorius very clear. Down to Jack if it's over Vatira. Had to get 2 on it. That's a huge touch from him. Certainly just relieves the pressure that Dig were looking for the counter-attack. Corner now, free shot. Double boost grab instead. 50 comes through, Jorius low boost. Vatira waits down the line. And Carmine Corp looking to tie this up. Half the game to go. Still Dignitas well and truly in the box seat, but we know how quickly this KC team can turn it around.
KC are still looking for those demos on the 3rd man. Again, it's a game that Dignitas are happy to play with them because they'll just launch 1st man and look to do the exact same thing, have a target man down the field. When you are so high up on the press, anything goes wrong in your offense, you're completely caught. So both teams happy to play with fire. Raleigh back in midfield. Stizzy's low. Wanted to give that to Jorius, but Jorius didn't have a path in. In comes Atto. I think he wanted backboard double. Instead, he's got to settle for a 50. Vatira back down, and Jorius with the post clears it.
Yeah, he uses his friend of the post to help that one. Goes straight downfield, but Charlie's up again. This time it's Stizzy with the save. They are clamping Carmine Corp. Digger holding on. Jack doesn't get the double. It's Raleigh again. He's going the direct approach. Luckily enough, Stizzy finds the pop, and I think they're out. It's a full double from Stizzy. All the pressure gone.
That's exactly what you need in those situations. Just any way of getting some time. You know the ball's coming back. You don't have the players to control it. But at least you can go and get some boost and reposition. Atto on the 50. Next one up is Vatira. Might have expected Joris to come and challenge him, so ends up being a free ball. Reset. Jack on his way. Does not want that previous goal to come back to haunt him because it was a freebie. And KC are starting to swarm yet again. Vatira jumped early. Jack clears long, and Raleigh against Jack over towards the sides.
That's so smart from Jack and Joris. Joris just let the ball sit right on his bonnet, let Jack come across and find the clear, just baiting KC in, using each other. But there's a great chance. Atto too quick. No one up from Dig. We got a tie ball game.
It really felt like it was about time. Finally, after they got a little bit of a brief moment out of their side of the field, Dignitas didn't have the manpower back, didn't have the defense. 2 each. And KC has got this one back in their hands. And if they keep playing the way they are, should be a matter of time before they get the win. Although here comes Jack. Raleigh's got the beat on the reset. Where will he respawn? Oh, he didn't get count for where Joris would come up.
Yeah, new respawn update. Jory is first on the scene, able to get back in time, but Dig looking a little bit in trouble. If KC just opened the door, a little pocket could have been on net. 20 seconds. Do we find an overtime? Jorius low boost. Jack confident pre-jump and finds his teammate Jorius, scoops up the 100. Final 10 seconds. Any late magic here? It's a good 50. Stizzy has to take it up the wall. Atto looking to hang on. Jack's already pre-jumped. Jorius, this is your time. A bit of magic. Can't make the touch work. I think both teams will take an overtime right now.
I've never seen somebody want a musty flick more than Jorius wanted one there. Just didn't line up for him. Ended up just scooping it away. Here's Raleigh. And yeah, Jorius knows he's got to get there because Raleigh's starting to cook up. Here is Jorius. Oh, unintended pass over to Stizzy, but he'll take it. As Vatira there early off the wall. He's got Atto in support. Can he get the ball over to him? Does he need him? As he almost managed to use the obvious infield as his own weapon to turn it straight in.
Dignitas playing a lot of defense. Double demo as well. It's a big mistake on the goal line. I think they've overthought the play, but Atto with the dunk, with the follow. KC take the second.
Well, Stizzy just came out on Atto's screen like a jump scare. Atto's really got no clue where he is because you can't see through that wall as the attacking player. And Stizzy just got it a little bit wrong, put it straight back into his path. And Dignitas see a 2-goal lead evaporate.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Obviously, he'd prefer not to be on the sidewall in the post, but he was dodging a demo, found himself in that spot, and he's just accidentally blocked it straight back into the path of Atto. But what a performance individually. I mean, we've talked about Raleigh, we talked about Vatira, this split in particular, but that game, hat trick from Atto, sub 200 points from his teammates. He did everything.
When Atto is playing that level of direct, he is so hard to play against. We saw it for the first goal, just how quick that was. This one, I mean, he's just straight there. Atto does not play as if something's going to go wrong for his team. He's always taking the positive angle. And because his team just wins so many 50s in situations, it works out well for him.
And looked like a Dignitas game as well, at least at the start. You mentioned the script going in a similar manner as Open 5 here in Europe, but KC, it was Atto, as we mentioned, turning it around, and it's close. You know, Dig probably playing the better game. Game 1, they have more shots. Game 2, he's making a couple of little mistakes here and there, but you've got to give credit to KC. They're putting the foot down. It's on Panda now with the timeout called by Dignitas.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be one person that'll be quite happy with Atto's performance, and that's the guy on the screen right now. Raleigh didn't have the best start to that one. It was his mistake off the backboard that kind of opened up the gaps. On the opposite side of that, though, Dignitas and Jack will be wishing that they had that 1 goal extra to work with after taking on that much KC offense to the end of regulation time. That's the levels that we're working with. Any mistake, and it will be turned on your goal. As Dignitas look for the answers.
We mentioned the yawning debuff, but I feel like every time we've looked at Raleigh, who we consider the best player in the world, he looks asleep. He's a very, very cool, calm and collected type of operator. But why wouldn't you be in this position? Grand final, 2-0 up, perfect possible start here. I still think Dig can turn it around, and we saw glimpses in that game. We saw glimpses at the end of the first game. They just need a 5-minute performance.
Yeah, there's definitely bits and pieces right there. It's just putting that all together. Playing free-flowing Rocket League is the only way you can play against KC. If you assume that they're going to beat you to the ball, yeah, they tend to. Have to play very positively and also get the results to go with it. Atto sidewall double. Even had the flip reset that he uses for the wave dash. Backboard Joris, not the best touch. And Vatira always denied by Jack. But it's the same thing again for Dignitas. They are causing their own problems from slight mistouches.
I don't know why they love to defend on their goal line so much. It's crazy. They want to push out, but this is what KC do. It's the fake into the double. Atto misses. Had an opening. They completely faked them out there. KC's offense, and they've still got a chance with the demo. And this time, Vati don't miss 1-0.
How was this one being set beforehand? That it was the defense of KC versus the offense of Dignitas? Nah, not at the moment. KC are all over them.
Yeah. Flip that script on its head. Farah mentioned the new playstyle from KC. We've seen plenty of double commits, particularly from Vatira and Raleigh. Could be the new playstyle, but it's working out because this offense is ridiculous right now. Look at him go. Atto with the close double this time. Jorius goes up. Seen that before.
I think we're starting to learn. Never say Vatira is defensive. He takes that personally. One of the big insults towards his gameplay. Raleigh looking for the reset off the backboard. He actually had the angle as well. Stizzy needed to be there.
Atto popping it up. Oh, Raleigh with space again. He's looking for the double. He's skimmed it perhaps too far.